You know, many people make the analogy between you and President Zelensky, and they say Zelensky stayed and rallied his country and you left. What do you think of that comparison?
Well, the comparison should be made between 2014, when I became president, and not 2021. We have been fighting for 42 years. Our trauma was deep. Our people were tired of killing, and our people wanted an end to the bloodshedding. Second, President Zelensky was informed in detail by the CIA of the forthcoming Russian invasion. We were not offered a single piece of paper by our allies. The other comparison again is Europe stood, the whole NATO, United States, Australia, other countries rallied to Ukraine, but that is similar to the 1979 invasion of Afghanistan by the Soviet Union. Then again, a lot of people stood with us and appreciated and increased the scale. But this was a time in 2021 when support for staying in Afghanistan after President Biden's decision had gone. It was an irreversible decision. And people were fundamentally asking, if we are going to fight another round of civil war, what's the end? What's the conclusion?
Do you feel betrayed by the Americans?
I don't use those types of words because our trauma, our pain, needs not to go to the direction of betrayal or blame. We need to focus on what is now in front of us. We need to draw lessons from the past and deal with the present. Our country is in dire condition. I do not have the luxury to engage in blaming or sense of betrayal. Superpowers, big powers, decide on the basis of their national interest.
You think that Trump accord with the Taliban was a disaster?
It was. Everybody in the agreement. We had an Afghan-owned and Afghan-led peace process. We created the first real ceasefire. And if you look at the December evaluation of the DoD report, it says in the last 18 years, there's never been as big an opportunity for a political settlement as now. And then our in turn Afghan-owned and led process was hijacked. We were excluded from the peace table, and the peace process was incredibly flawed. It's an assumption that Taliban had changed. What delusion.
Do you imagine you will be back in Afghanistan?
I hope so, very much. It's my home. I belong to a family that has stayed in one village about between 500 and 600 years. And in the last 300 years, almost every generation, we've lost everything. So exile is not foreign to us, but my heart beats with all Afghans. There are 28 strata that have been really devastated by the Taliban regime. The three majorities, women, youth, and the poor, are collapsing. Hope is gone. A sense of belonging is not there. The world needs to think in terms of its own interest. Do you want millions more of refugees to knock on your doors, or can you think about ways of stabilizing? Those who were saying that the Taliban have changed The Taliban needed healing. They needed the embrace of a society to be able to integrate them. And don't forget, they are highly traumatized. And now, unfortunately, their sense of revenge, their sense of repression, and reciprocating some of the repression that they had experienced in exclusion is being repeated on a scale. I want to be able to help my country heal, and I hope to be able to do that from the place that every cell of my body belongs, and without which I always feel alien.
Ashraf Ghani, pleasure to have you on. Thank you, sir.